So let me pick the legal mind of Duncan Okachi. He's a lawyer, just to help us understand how did did the courts arrive at this decision. Okachi, what are your thoughts about this ruling?
Linda, I think Justice Chacha read the law as it is in as far as the Constitution is concerned. As the Constitution says that these elective posts are for a full 5-year term, such that MCAs, members of parliament, they are elected for a full 5-year term, including governors. And MCAs have been complaining. You will notice that the problem we have at this particular stage is that we had our elections in March last year, March 2013. And the Constitution said that the first elections after that should actually be in August. And this is what is being implemented this time round. That would actually mean that we are in a catch-22. If you actually implement it, it means that you will actually cut short their term constitutionally by 7 months. If you do not implement it and you want to actually give credence to the 7 months, it means that our elections can only be sometime next year after the 7-month period. What happens to the Constitution then? We'll also be floating the Constitution. So based on that, the MCAs felt that the country has said elections must be as per the Constitution, and there must come a time that we'll start holding these elections in August after every 5 years, and this is the time it is. Such that if we are to do it that way, it means that new MCAs will have been elected after the August polls, and they will actually have a right to earn from that particular point. And these other MCAs, whether elected or whether they're not elected, their term will have come to an end. So they are crying foul for the 7 months period. But the problem I have as a lawyer is that the Constitution has said that. The reality is that, but you do not also pay people for work not done. That is what the governors have been saying all through week. Why do we pay you for work that is not done? And more importantly, this is public money. It must be put to good use, such that they came out as public servants, and they are being paid for the duration they've served their citizenry. Therefore, if they have served their citizenry for 4 months, for 4 years and 3 months, actually they should earn that and they should be happy, because for the 7 months they want to be paid, someone else will be doing the job and will be paid. Therefore, it means for the 7 months, we'll actually be paying double as a country.
Okay, so the ruling was already made. Is there any likelihood that probably this can be challenged?
The ruling will be challenged. That's a High Court ruling, and we have various channels to deal with it. But most likely than not, the state should actually appeal. The only problem is if they are to appeal, the appeal must be heard very fast, because we are going into the electioneering period.
We have 100 days to go.
Yes, and unless the Court of Appeal will fast-track that. And this is an issue that I believe, even if the state is going to have its day in the Court of Appeal, MCAs will not sit pretty. They will actually want to push it to the Supreme Court. And we have a Supreme Court that has mostly opened the doors to most of these matters, even though ideally it should not have been opening its doors. So if it goes to the Supreme Court, again, we are faced with such a challenge. But the bigger question is the kind of leaders we have. It shows that monetary compensation, monetary issues is actually more important to them than the actual goals of serving the citizens. But when they are campaigning, and I've seen the interview of Senator Sang, who may be the incoming governor of Nandi County, you can see he's actually there. He's saying he wants to work for the people and all that. All these MCAs have been saying that. But when it comes to such a point, they have to put the country in a constitutional crisis position just because of their challenges. And the president, I also saw, actually talked about this and said these leaders have only come in because of money, and it's very clear if they can go to court.
From what we are seeing.
Yes.
Okay, listen, the problem with this that many people see that probably this will have a trickle-down effect. If this is handed over to MCAs, then there are other public servants that would also demand the same.
Obviously, it will in effect mean that members of parliament, governors, any other person who is actually pegged on the 5-year term, it's automatic. You don't even need to go to court. This is what we call a test suit. You don't go to court again.
So once this is concluded, so then it sets precedence for the rest.
It's automatic.
Okay, listen, there are those who are saying that probably the law needs to be amended to align the tenure of MCAs with that of MPs, to remove the liability to pay MCAs for the remainder of their terms.
The law needs to be amended, but I've already told you how we arrived at this particular position, such that after these particular elections, then every other aspect will be solved. Because the issue was aligning it to the full 5-year term. Actually, they'll have a full 5-year term. The incoming MCAs will actually have a full 5-year term by the time you're going to the general elections in 2022. So this issue will not be there.
So as a matter of fact, this is it. The MCAs are going to have their way, and of course we'll have a trickle-down effect.
Yes.
Jesus, okay. Duncan Okach, thank you so much for speaking to us on the extended version of News Center. We're looking at that decision that was arrived at where MCAs will earn a salary until their 5-year term expires in March 2018. This means the current MCAs will draw a salary without working. And of course, that is the concern people are raising. How do you pay people for work not done? You know, that is the bone of contention. So let's see how this plays out in the coming days. Duncan Okach, a lawyer, looking at the legal aspect of it. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you so much, Linda.
All right, people. So confusion still reigns in the Orange Democracy.